This is All India Radio. In the program Spotlight, now we bring you an interview with Assam Chief Minister Sarbananda Sonowal on flood situation in the state. Interviewer is AIR correspondent Manas Pratim Sarma.
Good evening, listeners. Tonight we are joined by the Chief Minister of Assam, Shri Sarbananda Sonowal ji. Sir, we have flood and we are obviously like COVID-19 situation. How your government is tackling both the situations?
First of all, I must express my thankfulness to the people of Assam for courageous and determination they have shown in this pandemic situation, and that is why both the Government of India and Government of Assam, we are jointly handling these issues effectively. The ongoing COVID-19 pandemic and flood situation are the twin problems that have hurt the state hard. Apart from this, we are also fighting against a storm, landslides, Bagjan gas well, fire, etc., etc. We are tackling all these problems with a brave front, with the guidance of central government, led by Honorable Prime Minister Narendra and active support of all sections of the people of Assam. As you know, the COVID-19 pandemic has swept the entire state with the number of positive cases rising with every passing day. However, our government is steadfast in enforcing the COVID-19 treatment protocol and providing state-of-the-art institutional care to all positive cases. Moreover, our state is also reeling under flood, as 28 districts of the state have already borne the brunt of the floods, which took the life of several people. Under such circumstances, Assam State Disaster Management Authority has issued new relief camp management guidelines to prevent the spread of coronavirus among the flood-affected people. I appreciate the people of Assam for their cooperation in dealing with these issues at this difficult time. I have made personal visit to the flood-affected areas and interacted with people to have a first-hand understanding about their condition and also to assess the quality of government relief measures. I have also visited Kaziranga National Park and took stock of the arrangement made for the maroon animal there. Our government, since coming to power, constructed 23 highlands at Kaziranga, which have proved very handy at these challenging times. Besides, fodder has also been provided to the affected animal. All ministers, MPs, MLAs and other elected representatives are working in the field to provide succor to the flood-affected people. The government machinery has also been put in high alert. The district administrator has made adequate arrangements for sheltering the affected people, and sufficient measures are taken for the children and elderly people.
Right, sir. Sir, as you already mentioned, people of Assam have seen you are visiting several flood-affected districts, your minister colleagues are visiting districts to know the ground situation. So there is a demand to declare flood and erosion as national problem in Assam. So sir, what do you think on this?
It is very important to find a permanent solution to the perennial flood and erosion problem of Assam. I must appreciate the fact that in last 70 years of India's independence, it is for the first time that the central government led by Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi has taken sincere efforts to address the flood and erosion problem of Assam. Honorable Modi has already constituted a high-level committee under the chairmanship of Niti Aayog Vice Chairman to study the flood and erosion problem of Assam and come up with recommendation for finding permanent solution to this perennial issue. The Aayog has recommended for setting up of North-East Water Management Authority for adopting a holistic approach. The central government will take step for passing an ordinance to that effect in the forthcoming session of the Parliament. I believe that such an initiative will lead to permanent solution of the flood and erosion problem of the state.
So there is another issue here that the release of excess water by Bhutan particularly caused flood in Lower Assam districts. You have already visited Borpeta, Nalbari, Baksha, all these things. So how this issue can be settled, sir?
At least more than 12 rivers enter Assam from Bhutan, and as Assam is the lower riparian state, we face the burn of excess water flowing down to Assam from Bhutan. In this regard, we have intimated the issue with the central government. As such, the central government would take up the matter with the royal government of Bhutan as early and lasting solution to the problem.
So, since we are now having the third wave of flood, once the situation will be improved, then the question will come up how your government is going to support, to help the flood affected people. So what instruction you are going to issue to the district administration or already been issued to them?
At present, there is no dearth of fund to help flood affected people. Once the flood water recedes, we will have a clear picture to ascertain the volume of loss penetrated by the flood, and we will take on the work of repair and reconstruction. We will also go to the extent of rebuilding the houses of the flood affected people, and will help them to resume their livelihood activities once the situation improves.
Right, sir. And sir, you have had a couple of meetings with Honorable Prime Minister over phone. Union ministers are talking to you. So sir, as a whole, how the center is helping you?
Right from day one, the Government of India under the dynamic leadership of Honorable Prime Minister, they have been helping us a lot. The central government along with the government of Assam. So we are working together. Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji always expresses concern about the Assam situation. He telephoned me several times and took stock of flood and erosion situation, COVID-19 and Bagjan wildfire, and expressed his solidarity with the people of Assam during this difficult time. Even Union Minister, Honorable Home Minister Amit Shah ji, he has always been very much kind to us and helping from his part time to time to help out the victims, and also the Minister for Donor Jitendra Singh, he is also taking the stock of the situation time to time, and Jal Shakti Minister Rajendra Shekhar, he had held a discussion in details with me over the flood situation in the state and conveyed that Prime Minister Modi ji has asked his ministry to release rupees 346 crore to tackle flood situation. In the meantime, we have received first installment of SDRF amounting to 395 crores from the central government.
Right.
Besides, Honorable Modi ji has also announced ex gratia of rupees 2 lakhs to the next of kin of the flood victims of the state. So these are the kind gestures and sympathy and support they have been extending to the people of Assam.
Right. And sir, you have visited Kaziranga National Park, Pobitara and other parks and sanctuaries. So sir, what concern you have conveyed to the forest department, to the forest officials?
Our government is very much sensitive to the people and also to the domestic animal as well as wildlife living in the national park and wildlife sanctuaries. So during the flood, even during 2017 also, when there was a big flood,
right,
devastating flood throughout the state, that time also I personally went to Kaziranga and passed on a direction to the forest department to take best possible care of the safety and security of wildlife during the flood, at the same time to check up their health by veterinary doctors, and also to provide wild grass, food stuff to the animals, because this has been a tradition that when there is a flood or there is any kind of crisis, disaster, we always help out the affected people. But helping out the wildlife, I believe this is first time in the country.
Right.
That is why I have also realized if the wildlife spend for days together without food, then they will definitely die in the middle of water, because that time there was no highland also to take proper shelter. So that is why during our time we have developed more than 33 highlands. Now it has become very useful for the wildlife as a shelter during the flood. This time I went personally and seen how the rhinos and other animals taking shelter on the top of the highland. So this is the way the government is always showing their concern for the people as well as animals.
Right. And so finally, lots of organizations, people are supporting this cause to help the people, flood affected people. So sir, what appeal, what message you would like to convey to the world, to our countrymen on this situation?
I am thankful to the people who have expressed their concern from India and abroad for the people of Assam in this time of crisis. So I appeal to all of them that please keep on motivating us, encouraging us, inspiring us, particularly to help out the affected people. Because in this flood and erosion, we have not only incurred many losses in terms of our communication and connectivity, in terms of human life, livestock, and also infrastructure, government establishment, and also losing their cultivable land in hundreds of hectares. As you know, in the last 6 decades, more than 4 lakh hectares of land lost in the process of erosion. So that is why it is the biggest issue for the state of Assam, particularly when you have to sacrifice your habitation, your cultivable land, then you are become helpless in many ways. You become homeless, you become landless, you become helpless as a whole. So that is why this is the situation we have been facing. But anyway, I must express my heartfelt thankfulness to Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, Honorable Home Minister Amit Shah ji, for their kind concern and also for their kind support, as well as the Minister Donor Jatendra Singh ji and Jal Shakti Mantri Mr. Shekhawat ji. So this is the way we are working in the spirit of Team India under the dynamic leadership of Honorable Prime Minister.
All right. And sir, what message you would like to convey to those people who are working 24/7 round the clock during the time of COVID-19 and during flood?
I must admit that fighting against COVID-19, one of the biggest battles for the mankind. As of now, the doctors, nurses, ASA workers, MPW workers, and the Safai Karmis, and the drivers of the ambulance, and also their helpers, and people involved in the health sector, it's really remarkable, because they are in the forefront of the battlefield. And to help them out, policemen 24/7 working hard, and also the other people involved in this sector, and PHE, Public Health Engineering, Fire Brigade. So it's overall a teamwork. Particularly I must express my thankfulness to our colleague in the ministry, Health Minister Dr. Himanta Biswa Sharma, and also State Minister Piyush Hazarika, and the officials. So they are also working day and night for the interest of the people. As a whole, this is a teamwork, and this is how we are trying to tackle this situation.
Right. And sir, thank you so much for giving time to All India Radio. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
You were listening to an interview with Assam Chief Minister Sarbananda Sonowal on flood situation in the state. Interviewer was AIR correspondent Manas Pratim Sharma. This program was produced and presented by the News Services Division of All India Radio. You can listen to it on our mobile app, News on AIR. This program is also available on our website, newsonair.com. You may email your opinion about this program at airnsdtalks@gmail.com.